Well, hello everyone. Here to show you the Rabbit TV movie night coloring activity right here. As you see, is talking about basically the device, about Rabbit TV right here. As you see that I went ahead and drew like what you calls like on paper. That I went ahead and drew some examples, say a Rabbit TV, and of course if anybody has been following, so from the art manuals, of course, and that right here is for Rabbit TV. And anybody more likely think about is like with pay-per-view. And I can remember that whenever I had cable TV at the time, that it was a similar thing was pay-per-view. It was, and a lot of ways it was like, well, what exactly does that mean? Like for pay-per-view, and knowing about anybody more likely think about if most of us have experienced with having digital cable before or maybe satellite TV. It is basically it's movies that you can order on say on your cable package. It's like on the digital cable package type of a service package that you have right here. And I guess the question more likely would be is like about with that pay-per-view is like what does it mean? It's like so far what pay-per-view it is. And if you would order a movie like on Rabbit TV, it is like I tried to order a movie on there, and it would bring you to another page. If I can remember right, it would show that if you were to but point your mouse cursor up to like a movie, that if you were to select a movie it was, and it would show something like what you calls like for the say I think Amazon. I think Amazon Amazon.com, I think it was. It would show you like what you calls like a separate link to where that it would take you to another link. Say I don't know if it's say Google, or if it's Google or Amazon or some other type of link it is. And basically that these icons, these sites or whatever you call it, more likely they probably think about it is that that with for Amazon it is for Amazon, that more likely that whenever you click on them, and then they say that if you have an account, go ahead and log on to the site to be able to perform, say to proceed with your order it is. And with these sites, though, with these internet sites, a lot of times you begin to wonder about that you would think that it would be quite easy, as not knowing about that it tells you about how much it is just to order a movie, if it's like what you calls like if it's a movie, or if it's any type of a live show, like what you calls like maybe the Eagles live or anything like that. If it was like a television show that they cost you money just to be able to order it on pay-per-view it is. And from whenever I had pay-per-view a while back, it was like that anybody more likely think about that if it was like a show like HBO, anybody more likely think about like between Stars and Showtime, HBO, Encore, those type of movie stations. It was that which I don't think I talked about, of course, on the art manuals. It was is that if most of us are familiar, like which calls like HBO, it is that movies that would come on at times on there, and then go to the next movie, and then the next movie, and then with like other cable packages that you have it to where that you would select a movie, it was a movie title, and then knowing about that with that movie title, it was that it would just show something like that for whatever movie that was on, or maybe new releases, or if it was a movie that had just came out 2 years ago, anything that's advertising, whichever it is. But anyway, that start out right here is go ahead and besides, you say it's a Lego movie, that let's just say if like what you calls like something like what you calls related to like what you calls like Curious George, it is. If you had like right here is a frog right here, and then knowing about between like which calls like between phone calls it is, and knowing about the fact about that if you were to be watching a movies like such as like you say related to like any type of frog or anything like that, and knowing about that you will order a movie it was, and then knowing about that with the type of movie, kind of looks like a turtle, huh? Well, I guess I can go ahead and use a turtle, think about either a frog or a turtle or anything like that. But anyway, that if we were to order a movie like which calls like on pay-per-view it is, and let's just say if it was a turtle or a snail or anything like that, and knowing about that yeah, that you know, it tells you how much it would be just to watch it, and then knowing about if you have all the system requirements, of course, just to watch the movie it is. And anybody more likely think about that that go and click on that and see what it does, and then not saying that you ain't got the right, you know, video player, or you know, now it takes you to another page and now it's asking for what the, you know, the key code is or something else it is. And you gotta more likely think about with TV nowadays, if you're going to be using like what calls like the high-speed internet TV it is knowing about between like what calls like the slow moving turtle and maybe the fast cheetah. Anybody more likely think about that yeah, that for how much you pay, you know, for your internet it's like you talk about like, you know, for the fast cheetah it was your rabbit TV or the fast cheetah. And then knowing about, you know, the type of speed you say for, you know, for your internet it is that you'll be paying for the connection it is, and then knowing about how fast it is, and knowing about that according to the directions that they probably about, like I would think about is that well, what do I think about? I'm like, yeah, that you connected to a computer it is, and anything that you maybe have complications with, that more likely that you probably think about that yep, you know, it's like it's Wednesday here, you know, the September the 3rd it is, and knowing about, you know, what the weather it is, and knowing about, it's like if you were to work the calculator it is knowing about that if you want to watch a movie, if you want to have a movie night it is, and knowing about, oh well, you know, it's asking for an access code, I don't know that, what's that all about it is, or the question could be related to you having problems logging on, or the fact about that you know, maybe that the rates, you know, the costly rates are just a little bit too high it is. And knowing about, well, you know, don't let that get you underwater. I'm like, don't let that get you underwater, is knowing about that yeah, we'll set you up with a deal that you know, just the rates would be about maybe $4.99 it is, and you know, just to rent, you know, for a movie it is. Anybody can more likely think about that with that between like, we'll say going to like what calls like the Blockbuster, you know, Plus or the red boxes and stuff like that, is that knowing about with movies it is that I usually buy my movies like on DVD a lot of times, or maybe wait until they come to like what you call like maybe on TV it is later on. But anybody can maybe think about that if you were to have movie night it is, if you want to order a movie like on pay-per-view it is, like on her Dish Network, you know, that they have it to where if you, or, you know, earn points it is, say play games or anything like that you do like on Dish on the gamer it is. But if we're talking about like you know, it's that ordering a movie it is, that it takes you to another screen, and then it takes you to another screen, and then from screen to screen it is. But on the other hand too, that knowing about why weren't these, you know, setup options on the directions. It's like whenever you buy stuff like a webcam from the store it is, from wherever you got it from, is that that there's a lot more to it, you know, compared to what it says on the directions it is. And at the time it's like, if it's a matter of about that anybody who purchases product it is, if it's all about the fact about that, you know, you just gotta spend more time with it, and more likely it'll work. Anybody more likely think about that yep, I'll go ahead and go with what's the best answer so far is the best, you know, that, you know, it's like which one should I go with, you know, which company, you know, go ahead and go with cable or satellite, or go ahead and go with like Rabbit TV it is, or maybe with Hulu.com, or, you know, any other, you know, internet TV it is. And more likely anybody would probably think about whichever one that works. And knowing about that there may be some of them that do work, and then you may have to deal with technical issues, or etc. But knowing about is like, I guess you say is for whichever one that you're familiar with. It's like if you're familiar with like what you call like if you're good at you know, pushing buttons, and I guess I can go ahead and say that with buttons you know, using a paint. But if you're good at on buttons. It is if you're good at working with buttons and switches and stuff like that. Anybody more likely think about that yeah, not only did I push the button once, but I pushed it twice and I about broke it because it didn't work. A few buttons and switches it is. And anybody may think about that yep, if you're going to have a few buttons and stuff that you got to deal with, it is no, but yeah, I'm going to push the button. I'm going to push the button and I'm going to break the button this next time if it don't work. Actually, I pushed the button and nothing happened. It was. But on your hand too, anybody probably think about that, yeah, a button that don't do nothing, huh? Well, I know for sure it's not called the belly button because, I'm like, yeah, well, I've already tried pushing, and anybody probably think, now, but anyway. But you have right here is like, anything that works, and anybody more likely think about that, yeah, I'm not paying $12.99 a month for something that don't work. And anybody like, well, does it work? Or maybe it just doesn't work the way you want it to work, or maybe the fact about that there's a problem, that maybe that there's something about your work that of course that has not been done yet. But more likely think about it. I think the whole truth of the matter is that that whenever you buy stuff from the store, it is that you take it home with you, that yeah, well, we're here, you get technical support for any issues that you more likely you have. But on the other hand too, that knowing about with movie night, it is trying to get something to work, huh? Talking to somebody who's able to spend that kind of time, just to get something working. And on the other hand too, that the way I think about it, between a pay-per-view and of course like renting a movie, like what's called from the red boxes, it is that more likely either way that one of them is going to maybe ask for a credit card, debit or credit card payment, or anything related to PayPal or anything like that, green dot card payment. And when you might think about that, really, high-speed internet is not all you need. Well, how come that's not on the directions? And the way I think about it, I like anything that more likely you experience about Rabbit TV or Hulu, that more likely we can probably think about it's like basically that about almost everything else costs money. I guess you say a free trial period. I guess they say it to where a lot of times it's a free trial period, to where that whenever you try it, it's a trial period, which means that they give you a certain amount of time to try it out for free. But other than that, is talking about free for life or whatever, that more likely I guess more likely you just really have to spend so much just to have something for free later on. If you're talking about free HBO, free Cinemax, free pay-per-view, that more likely you just gotta spend so much, huh? But anyway, the way I think about it though is that with Rabbit TV though, that the capability to where that you can actually experience around with watching internet TV and knowing about with pay-per-view is that knowing how to work it is that you click on an icon, it is, and that knowing about that like, oh well, I need an Amazon account, or I need a Google account, or I need a account on like which calls like this online site such as Petrolia Co. or something like that. But other than that knowing about that either way though with pay-per-view, it is that they make things so complicated to where the button I'll be pushing, and more likely that'll be the power button if it don't work. So anyway, that you probably think about that the page closed unexpectedly because of the fact about the technical issue, like saying like, yeah, well, that more likely that button that was pushed was probably me, because it's like, yep, I try to order a movie or watch a TV show on live TV, it is, and knowing about the thing don't work. It didn't work because nobody gave me the directions. Nobody gave me the directions. So I'm just going to say that if nobody gave me the directions, I really would not know what button to push. So I know more likely one button to push to go ahead and just say shut it off for right now. But Anyway, but so far as like what you call is like with this Mr. Turtle is like knowing about the fact about that, yeah, you might more like you think about is like that like the turtle went over the mountain, or the turtle crossed the stream, and knowing where is he going to go, more like would be like knowing about is like for the next movie night, it's going to be like what you call is like something related to like what you call for the turtle. The turtle who found the turtle who found the leaf. The turtle who found the leaf with that perfect point. With that perfect point of knowing about that. Yep, whenever you go out shopping, it is like, like besides if you go out shopping, it is for that perfect point of knowing about that. Yeah, why did the turtle cross the stream? Why did the turtle go ahead and swim from the left to west, and then from the southwest, southeast, or the south north, or anything like that? And knowing about that, yeah, well, who knows? Because nobody gave me directions. So I just decided just where. But other than that, anybody more like to think about that. Yep, nobody gave me directions. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just swim this direction and then swim that direction, maybe until I get somewhere, huh? Like, how you gonna get somewhere? But other than that, and show me where you came from. Yeah, and show me where. But other than that, like talk about right here is like for movie night is talking about the things, of course, that we can learn so far as a matter of time and knowing about. It's like for Rabbit TV movie night coloring activity.